Well, hello, Stampers. This is Kate with Kate's Creations, bringing you another card today that we can make together using the Cottage Wreaths stamp set. I'm kind of been on a kick with that because you need to see how many different ways you can use a set. So we've been doing some fall fall cards, and you can see those in my previous videos. But today I'm switching over to some Christmas, or a Christmas card. So we will be using the Cottage Wreaths stamp set and at least one of the Cottage Wreath dies, the one for the bow. And I'm going to be using the Beautiful Shapes dies for the sentiment to cut it out. And I'm using this particular die right here. And I'm using the rectangle stitched or stitched rectangle dies, and I'm using the third largest one. So that would be, you know, coming from largest to smallest, 1, 2, 3, the third largest one. I'm also going to be using the Lights Aglow. Is that what it's called? I believe it is. Yes, Lights Aglow Designer Series paper. It's a 6x6 paper pack. And it's got some beautiful papers in it, and it uses vanilla instead of white, so this card has vanilla. The base card, I'll put that over there, is Evening Evergreen, and of course 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And we will find my bone folder. Here it is. I switched, by the way, to a glass work plate here. And so it does make a little bit more noise when things are laid down on it, but it just works so much better. It doesn't get marks in it when I use the cutter, you know, when I'm using my X-Acto knife or whatever. It's easily cleaned and wiped off. If I get glue on it, it comes off easy. So anyway, I've switched, and I'm glad I did. I really like it. So it does make a little more noise though. So there's the base card. The next layer is that very vanilla, just regular, very vanilla. And this is for the inside. And this is cut 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So it will only leave, I believe that's what I did. Let me measure it just to make sure I didn't fool you. No, this is 4 by 5 1/4. And then this, I'm going to have to trim something somewhere. I did something. Okay. Always something. Let me see. Yes, here we go. Okay. Like I say, I don't edit, so you get to see me fumble my way through sometimes. This is 4 7/8 by 5 3/8, and it leaves a 1/8 inch border all the way around. Then this is 4 by 5 1/4, which will layer again, and will also leave a 1/8 inch border around. So you get 3 different color layers here, which I really, really like. So let's go ahead and get those attached. They're just going on flat. And I need my Stampin' Seal. There it is. Sometimes. Okay. Middle. Okay, so just a 1/16 of an inch border, so not very much, just enough to show. There we go. And then let's do this piece. Oh, on the back side of this, isn't that lovely? It's got shimmer in it because it's got gold accents. That's what makes me buy stuff. I'm a sucker for anything with bling, right? So, but I'm not using that side. Isn't that funny? Could be, but I'm not. And again, and there's not an up or down, so you don't have to worry about orientation with this piece. And again, 1/16 of an inch border all the way around. And there's layer 2. Then this one is 4 by 5 1/4, and it's going on the inside. Then this piece is also vanilla regular, and it is 3 by 4 1/4. Okay. Making sure I'm following my stuff here. And this is what we're going to make our art piece, and it's what's going to get stamped on. So we need the leaf stamp and the branch stamp. And I'm stamping the leaf stamp with Evening Evergreen. And if you didn't see my previous video, I have marked what the top of this is. If you're cutting these out, there's a way. Check out my previous video because it shows you how to find that little mark and make sure you're stamping them right side up. It doesn't matter when you're just stamping, but when you're cutting out and using the die, it helps you immensely know how to place the die on your cutting. Okay, so now we're just going to stamp this, and you know, there's no really a right or wrong. I kind of stayed a little bit more to the top, but it's not critical. And that's absolutely lovely. And this stamp is so cool because it has the different textures and everything already built into it. So it has a variety of colors. Although I did, and again in my previous video, in one of the fall ones that I did, I came back with a blends pen, a blender pen. These, oh, let me find one here. These little guys, and brought in some other colors and added even more depth to that. I don't know if I have it handy. Hold on here, let me see. Yes, this is the one I did. And you can see I came back in with my blender pen and added some color to this, and it added even more depth and beauty to it. So just a little something you might want to think about. Okay, I'm stamping the stems with soft suede. It comes out almost black looking, but that's okay. And that, you just center it and it'll come out fine. There you go. Absolutely gorgeous. I've already stamped and cut out the sentiment. The sentiment is in this same stamp, in the same cottage wreath set, and so you don't have to go anywhere for that. Okay, then I wanted to put ribbon around it, and I had some of this red and green ribbon that I ordered, but this is real red, and this is cherry cobbler. It's much darker, and I liked it darker. So this is what I did. I brought in my dark cherry cobbler blends pen, and I colored it so that it would be darker. And it works just fine to do that. Turn it around. And there you have it. While I was at it, I'm going to use the smallest pearls from the Pearl Gems, whatever they're called, basic pearls. And of course, they're all kind of a white or a creamy color. But with your blends pens, which dry on any surface, permanent, on any non-porous surface, you can color your pearls and your rhinestones and end up with coordinating colors in those anytime you want, which is so cool. So I have also colored enough of these smallest of the pearls to use them to make the berries on my wreath. Okay, I think this is dry enough. Yeah, looks good too. You can either side, it just goes right through it. Okay, now I am going to put adhesive on the tape itself. I mean on the ribbon itself, I should say. Because I like my ribbon to lay down nicely. And then to get it straight, let's just use this grid paper. That's what it's here for. There we go. And then I can use this and use my grid paper. It's sticking to me a little bit. That's okay. I'm rushing it. It's not dry. And I'm just gonna, I think I want it just a little bit higher. I think I'm gonna go right there. And then fold those ends around the back. And I lost my, get that off my fingers, a little bit of sticky there. And there we go. Isn't that look good? Okay, let me put this away. Excuse me. I also had a bow here, but it has gotten away from me. So I did cut a bow using the die for that. It just makes a really lovely bow. There's also one you can stamp, and then there is a die to cut out a stamped bow as well. But I had used the one that has all the accents on it, and I had cut it from Cherry Cobbler, as you can see on my original. And evidently, I have misplaced it somewhere on my tabletop, which happens often when I'm stamping. Maybe it never happens to you. You'll have to let me know one of your stories. So we'll crank that off here and get it ready. So we have it to put on our card. Get it in here. And I am going to put Wink of Stella on that because, as I said, I am a sucker for bling. And so I'm going to put Wink of Stella on my bow so that it shimmers. Just adds a little bit of life to it. Now I tried putting pearl, one of the larger pearls, in the center of my bow. I didn't like it. So I really didn't have one that I liked. I might find one later and in my stash, something I like to put in the center of that bow. But for now, that's all I have. Okay, this is now going to attach to the front. Make sure I'm not going to get ink on that. To the front of the card. And again, it's just going to go on flat minus my piece of hair. And it's just going to get centered. Top to bottom, side to side, just like that. And then we will put the, as soon as I find my little pokey tools, there we go. Then we'll put the berries on. Actually, let's put the bow on. And I did put the bow on with a little bit of a dimensional. And even the mini dimensionals are too big. So I'll just come in here and I'll just cut me off a piece. That will fit and not show. Right there. And I'll put my bow on where I want it, just like that. It's looking cute already. Okay, and then I put these pearls in clusters of 3 to create, you know, that triple berry look that we all just love, of course. And do give these a little bit of time. Once you color them, just give them a little while to dry. I colored mine yesterday knowing I was going to be making the video today, but it certainly doesn't take that long. Just a matter of minutes. It's just wise to do that, because otherwise you're going to probably get stuff on your fingers and on places on your card where you don't want them, which I have done that too. So anyway, these make great berry clusters done this way. Just gives that little bit of dimension to the overall look, and it ends up making just an absolutely lovely card. And so then there's another way you can use and enjoy. Now I haven't yet made any using the dimensional dies that they have in here that have little pieces that lift up and stuff. And I've got to do some of those too, because that's going to add even more versatility to the whole suite. And so you'll want to consider, you know, the fact that you can use it year-round for various things. I'm sure there's some spring stuff ideas out there. Oh, I think we need one more. That right down here. So you could make it spring, summer, winter, and fall. We've got winter and spring, well, Christmas and spring, but we could make a more wintry looking piece as well. So there's that, and then you can, I put a dimensional on the back of this and just stuck it right here. You could do it down here if you wanted to. That's totally personal choice. Let me find a dimensional. But I kind of liked it over the center of the wreath. But that would, like I say, that would be something you'd have to choose for yourself. And being a dimensional, it doesn't interfere with the berries at all. And there is today's card. That was quick and simple, wasn't it? It helps having most of everything ready. And like I said, I did cut a piece for inside of the card because these are very dark. So it will go inside the card like this. And there you have it. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you haven't subscribed, I invite you to do so. I do try to put in little tips and tricks along the way so that you get something more than just how to make a card, because most of you probably already know how to make them. So I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks again for coming by.